You read the article, right, Paul?
Huh?
You read this article?
About what?
About the...
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Lost to Time podcast. My name is Joel Henderson. With me today,
Social Wreck.
In the storm.
So we are doing a second podcast. This is the squeakiest fucking bench of all time. Son of a bitch. Okay, that's annoying. So right off the bat, annoyed. We're going to do some sort of discussion on our urban exploration type adventures, aka Lost to Time, aka Steel City Storm stuff. So, we saw an article on Facebook, somebody shared it, about a bunch of like old guys going around and taking pictures in gyms. Like, that's pretty much what it seemed like, ain't it?
Yeah, they're going across Indiana. They started in southern Indiana. They're coming on up. They finally made it to Gary, and they're actually taking pictures of the gymnasiums.
Right.
Pretty cool. One of the guys that's part of is actually lives up right outside Milan. You know who they are, right? Based off the movie Hoosiers. The little school that beat the big city school.
Okay.
Well, one of the guys is based off that. They started doing that, and they've come up from there. So, I don't know. It's pretty interesting. I would love to do it, to be honest with you.
Gary always attracts it like that. You know, even Adam.
What? I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Guys, I've noticed personally that
Oh my God.
the big bloggers and the big explorers, that Josh the Explorer kid who's got a lot going on, not bad mouthing him or anything. I really don't care for his style too much, but he does go some interesting places. However, they were just in Gary not that long ago. Then you got Adam the Woo guy, who's a big blogger and stuff like that. I used to follow him a lot more. He's just some guy that tours around in his van all over the place, and he does places like
Is this
over.
just like free promotion for other people?
Absolutely.
What the fuck are you talking about,
Absolutely
Paul?
not. I'm just saying. I'm pointing out that
I always
Josh-
hear that guy's name, and I don't know
Josh,
who he
the
is.
Josh guy, the Explorer kid, he was the one that was in Lew Wallace not that long ago. And they made a big deal out of it because he came into Gary. And then Adam the Woo came out there and went to Michael Jackson's house. And
Well,
made
I'll
a
tell
big
you
deal
why,
out of it.
because the people that are doing it make a big deal out of it. It's one of the hardest things in terms of making these videos for me is that self-promotion aspect of it. I fucking hate it. And, like, the people that are getting all that attention are doing it right. You know, whatever they're doing in that regard. They're making it like, oh my God, we're going to Gary. It's going to be super scary
Right.
and dangerous and
Right.
blah, blah, blah. And hyping up all the shit that people buy into.
Right.
And I just hate sensationalizing it like that. It
Right.
fucking paints it in a bad light. You know what I mean? It doesn't need that. It doesn't need any more extra shit added on top of it.
I think it's just going to keep getting worse. I think that within a year or two, if that long, that we're going to see a surge of explorers coming to Gary. And,
Oh, it's already happening now, man.
you
Yeah, I
know,
mean, we started, for example.
Right.
You know, we weren't doing this shit before, like not in any serious way. And now here we are doing this shit.
Right.
right?
I never thought I'd have to say I do urban exploring. It sounds so douchey, but I hate the term, but it is what it is.
I told Storm on the way here, we were talking about it a little bit, and I told him, you know, it's turned in from something that we do for fun into almost a movement now, you know. That's how passionate I
want
am
it to be a
about it,
movement.
man.
Yeah.
And it's just insane.
Well, but what are we moving? Like, what are we trying to? How can we
Attention.
move the needle on that? You know what I mean? Like, how do we make an impact?
By continuing what we're doing, by documenting and everything, first of all, because that matters, man. Because presumably it ain't going to be there. You know that, Joe. It ain't going to be
agree.
there, man. And I don't know. And also, I told him, here I am jumping to one thing for another, like you told me not to do.
No,
but,
by all means.
you know,
We're
even
into
if
it.
this turns into
You see how
nothing-
it's already a different conversation in the article that we talked about? Just
yeah.
leave it there. It's fine.
Hey, and what I was saying, like, you know, I've just imagined 20 years down the line, if I live that long, just to be able
Definitely
to watch
not.
all these,
Definitely not.
just to watch all these videos, we'll be able to watch everything, you know,
Right.
man. And I think that's gonna be really cool.
Right. I mean, that's fun for us, but I don't get how we do any good necessarily with it. You know what I mean? Like people, so we haven't
showing
had
it.
many people get shitty, so that's
Right.
cool. I mean, 1 or 2 got shitty, but other than that, the most part, it's been accepted well. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Embraced by people, but I don't know what we can actually do with it, like beyond just making some cool videos about it. I wish there was a way we could enact some change.
Maybe by
but
putting it out there, we can get a change. Maybe the spark to start the change. You know,
me
man?
suggest something for us to do that
Yeah.
watches our podcast. Say, you guys should do this. You guys should do that. And maybe we can take a little bit of this and that. You know, it's like stone soup. If the whole village pitches in one thing, you can come up with a great soup.
right.
Like that friendship building, man. That preacher, I'm still on this preacher guy, but you know, we could have done so much.
What happened with the
Go, Rick,
tell
go.
the
Yeah,
story?
I'm sorry. Well, we were gonna go in, you know,
Okay.
regardless.
Well, of course.
And he actually, one of his doormen actually caught us trying to get in, you know, man.
You can still use this. I'm just moving this chair back.
And you're fine. And where was that? He caught us trying to get in the building, you know. But we told him what we were doing, so he went to talk to the preacher. The preacher told us, got a hold of us, you know, and
Okay.
said that he was going to let us in or something like that.
You said call him back. Then,
Call
Dave.
him back,
2 o'clock.
yeah.
They
Well,
never
he blew us off.
They never call you back at that
That's
point.
the day. That's the day that we all did the police impound lot with all the cars and trucks and stuff out
Yeah.
there.
Right.
It was that day. Remember? I told him to call
Get
us back.
get it back to it. He, you know, Paul, I think, talked to him again about it.
I did.
Turned out that, you know, he wanted a donation. We could have did something for, you know, for the
Right.
Brothers Keeper, the Friendship Building, his
Right.
church on top of that, you
Right.
know, and he chose not to because his building was a mess, you know.
They're all a mess. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? They're abandoned. That's how it works.
He says he wants to refurbish it and do this and that, but how? When he's going to keep it close to everybody,
it's
you know?
you
We don't
go.
want to
It's
see it refurbished. We want to see how it is before you.
I would love to see that
before
building
they turn it into a
refurbished.
flea
right?
market.
I'll tell you, next time we go to that building, I'm going in with or without you, man. I could have been in that building.
If you
like
go without
4
me, make
times,
sure you
man.
take the camera.
I
That's
will
it.
take the
oh,
camera. I
is
told
the
him,
window
man.
open still
Oh,
to the
yeah,
gym?
yeah.
Easy in. There's stuff to climb down. It's
Oh, he'll
easy.
be ready, man. We're gonna strengthen them out during the fall here. He'll be ready to go in during the winter.
When it's
man.
cold, it's
We
the best
tried
time.
something similar, calling the proper channels with St. Peter and Paul Church,
Right.
in Maryville.
They're
the one
recently
that
closed,
they tore
right?
down.
Oh, they tore it. Oh, yeah, that's right. They did tear it
Yeah,
down.
we called the church and tried to make all the proper arrangements, and nobody would call us back. And it was just like, okay.
Speaking of that, man.
So we figured it out. We got in there and we filmed it, and I filmed like every step of the demolition.
Right.
We climbed up into the balcony after they had ripped off most of the building, and we were
Right.
up in the second floor, and I flew the drone away from it and shit.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
Yeah,
That's
I got to
interesting,
make the
man.
beginning to end of that one because I already have this awesome end shot where I'm driving down the road and I'm talking months later. It's winter, and this big box van. I'm already pointing the camera at like the front of where the building used to be.
Right.
This huge white box van drives past me and it goes whoosh, and then there's like just snow falling on an empty lot.
Oh,
Nice.
cool.
So it's like that's going to be the end of that.
Is that
video.
the one that was on Washington Street that half the corner was missing out of? Is that the one you're talking about?
No,
Okay,
no,
something
no.
different.
No, I'm talking about on 58th and Harrison-ish.
Oh, okay.
Over by Taco Depot. By the St. Peter, there's still a
Hey, before I forget again,
Taco
I was
Depot.
reading on the Lost of Time Facebook page, and somebody asked if they could, that they're new to exploring, they would love to hang out with you. But then somebody else responded was that every time somebody asks that question, they never answer it.
somebody said that on that post.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I've seen it on
Oh,
the
it's
way
about
here.
us that we never
that we
answered?
never respond to that.
What did you say?
And I thought it was, you know.
may be catching on. It's very possible.
I feel responsible for people.
It's
like
very
that.
possible that is accurate. Yeah, they don't ever answer this question that I've seen.
Yes. I thought it was funny because actually we do, but
It's tough, man. Like, here's the problem. Most people suck, and like that's just the reality of life. Like, not just urbexing. Oh God, I can't believe I said that. It sounded dirty,
It's
and
so-
I hate
I
it.
like that word.
urbex.
So, every time we've brought somebody with, there's been a problem. I mean, not every time. I say that incorrectly because met Bill from this, met you guys from this, Charlie Burgess.
Excuse me, we're totally different than all the rest.
There's a few that like we
super
have
cool.
brought with, and it was fine. But when we bring people that we've not met before, outside of it,
Subscribers of your page.
not that at all. Just like randoms.
Yeah.
We went to the.
Do you know who that is? No idea.
No, that's a new member. Somebody just joined. We went to Lou Wallace, and they were doing the cleanup. And then, like, I had already met Bill, so he was there, and we were going to go in. We didn't know they were doing the cleanup. And then there were, like, 2 or 3 other people there that were like, we'd love to go in.
Yeah.
And so we let them come in. Can't hear you over there.
I wasn't trying to be heard. I was just sitting back agreeing with you.
Good. So we took like 3 other people in with us.
All right.
And next thing you know, stuff's getting grabbed.
All right.
And it's just like, oh, come on, like that's not. And then like, I took the yearbooks, all the yearbooks that were taken. Then I'm like, let me take them so I could take pictures of them. They were sitting in a room rotting. Right. I'm not a thief. They were fucking sitting in a room, all stacked there, and there's water in the room. Like those, that's recovery. There's a difference.
Like I said, preserving.
Yeah.
You weren't pilfering. You were preserving.
Yeah, that's fucking recovery mission shit for me.
Before we started the podcast just now, I just had a couple of Lou Wallace books out, and I was looking at it, and one of them, half the pages are waterlogged together where you don't want to open it all the way. It's a good tear. I mean, they're halfway gone. Not all of them like that, but a couple. Right. If he wouldn't have grabbed those.
Oh, they'd be ruined at this point.
Somebody
else might have grabbed them, but that whole room was just sitting there.
There's something I want to address, if you don't mind. This is The Storm. Make sure you check us out, the Steel City Storm channel on YouTube. People have a problem with people taking things out of buildings that are falling apart.
I have a problem with it to a degree.
To a degree, but what if it's going to get destroyed, though? And
that's fine. That's different. Like when we went into Dunbar Pulaski one time, there were people in there just fucking shit up and taking shit, and it's like, but even the taking shit, it's like this place just closed down. Like it feels like maybe they hadn't even done like the auction yet.
Right.
Like worked.
Right.
Like that shit's still in use. You know what I mean? Like we went in there and we checked it out, but like if we were to grab shit from there, that's like active stuff that still technically has value.
Right.
In a school like Webster, nothing in there matters.
Let me touch on, if I may. May I touch on a subject?
Go on. Or who are you asking, me or him?
Well, both of you. I mean, and the people out there. I think the people out there listening to this podcast are gonna chime in on this one. Here's my question.
People out there listening to this podcast?
Well, people, I think eventually things are going to get better. I'm doing this because first off, you're my friend. I want to come over and hang out. And I think the podcast idea is cool. And I think it's a great way to archive things. And eventually, down the line, we'll look back, like Social said, in a year, 2 years from now, I was like, man, remember when we did that? That was fun. I enjoy this. I enjoy every aspect about it. And I met a couple good friends in life. And I have a lot of fun with it. My question is
this. He's going to introduce us to them sometime.
Yeah. Well, Big Joe. Tone, don't get mad at me, man. I didn't use big on purpose on him. But Big Tone and
get to
Joel.
Your point. Quit blowing
Joel
What's the question? Question time.
Here's my question. From my point of view, what I have seen develop since starting the YouTube channel is this. We're talking about taking stuff out of buildings and vandalizing, right? It's not the people that are doing it, or the people who didn't go there, or the people that are living there now. They are usually the ones who have a problem with it. The ones that I have found doing the channel and watching the comments it's people who went there 20, 30 years ago, seeing their memories destroyed. And you know how many times you look on the page.
It's a generational divide, man.
Look how many times you see people say, you should have grabbed that. Right. You should have grabbed that. You should have grabbed that. No, I'm just going to let it sit there till some kid, obviously kids jumping in there and spray painting and destroying and smashing.
You would think
he's going to go in there
anyway.
and smash
My one exception to that rule is I will take information. If there's information that is valuable and like not available on the internet,
Like the gang pamphlet we found.
well, of course, stuff like that, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But like the all the newspaper clippings from Gary Community School Corporation building,
Okay, well, that's the
like that has to be saved, and I don't give a shit what anybody says about that.
Well, in the comment right now on this podcast, if you whoever's listening to it, whenever you listen
you can
to it,
comment on YouTube. Or
if it's tonight or if it's in a year from now, I still want to see the comment and show that I'm right.
What
People that went to schools that we do, people from Gary,
okay.
are gonna say you should have grabbed that. I do not want to. I'd rather see you have it and sitting back here in this and being taken care of like little odd and end things you have.
Yeah.
He's the same thing.
I know, but the concern is
Or
always the
leave it there.
legality of it, because if somebody wanted to be a
That's true.
dickhead about it, they could watch the
You're talking
videos and say
legalities.
you did
I'm
it.
talking
Yeah.
what's right and what's wrong.
I do not disagree with you on that. It is not. It is in a matter of what's right and wrong. Yes, we should grab the stuff.
'Cause once you leave
But-
it there, it's gone.
But like, there's like, I mean, at Lew Wallace, there's a room full of weight equipment. If we went in there and took that shit,
Lew
we're
Wallace-
That's
fucking
different.
Right.
That's different. You
Weights
know
are
what I
not
mean?
sentimental. I'm talking pictures.
weight,
It classifies
those-
under information. That's information, man.
Right.
That shit tells you about the school each year.
What, the weights?
No, the yearbooks.
That's different.
I'm saying that's information. That's worth taking.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
I agree with that.
Priceless shit like that that
I'm
will
all
just
in.
rot with the building. That I'm 100%.
I'm
You know
all
what I
in.
mean?
I'm all in with you. Now, to go in there and take, say,
The copper,
the copper,
Right. Be
that's-
the building.
that's a whole different, and that's what I'm
Ridiculous.
saying. People who don't care and have no sentimental attachment to it are always going to be those kind of people. People that subscribe to our channels and are interested in what we do are people that usually went to that school or
Yeah,
have
unfortunately, I
parents
have a
that-
55 to 65 women
Exactly.
demographic.
Exactly. Well, it's true though. We have a lot of older people that I
Makes no
enjoy.
sense.
Oh my God, I went to that school. I went to that
Yeah,
school.
we were talking about that, man. We should have had this podcast on the way here because it did. He drove past like 7 miles.
Oh,
that away,
unbelievably
man.
far past. It's like we're almost to Route 2. We're almost there.
I went
We
the
passed,
GPS
we
said,
passed the Family Express. I like, I think it's coming up. I think it was right after that.
I thought we were Thursday, man.
It's right down the road here. Oh no.
I only passed it 6 miles, man. It
It's
could have been
Route
7.
2. I was like, I think we passed it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Put some
Definitely
street lights
past
out here.
it. So yeah, once and for all, I don't necessarily rule out ever taking somebody with on a adventure. However, I would have to meet the person first and know
Right.
that like why they want to go.
Right.
Like it sounds like I'm being pretentious about that, and I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm just
What does that mean?
what?
Pretentious. Well, there's people out there. If you say "don't ever," I'm
And
going
I
outside for a
noticed,
cigarette.
too that this.
Yeah, good lead into the mic.
Yeah, lean this way. The mic will
That's
follow
great
you.
for the listeners.
He's got the microphone taped to his shirt. And he's going sideways like he's trying to hear it.
I noticed that the guy said he was new to this, and just to let everybody know, usually the stuff we do is not for newbies, man.
What do you
to be
mean?
honest with you, he was new to exploring. He said.
Oh, right. Well, I mean, I think the best thing anybody could do would be to just go watch the videos and then go to those places if you want.
Right.
Like,
My recommendation.
by all means, go to all the places
church-
we've been.
Sometimes
I don't
people
give a
wanna
shit.
meet us.
That
So-
Methodist church is a good first one for
It is the
everybody,
slut
man.
of urban exploration.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go there. You'll be safe as you probably will be.
You're gonna go
anywhere.
in there. You're gonna find somebody else in there already.
right.
More than likely,
Where?
somebody
The-
else coming
the
or
church?
going.
Yeah.
At the Methodist church. Yeah, it's
And then go to the
slut.
train station on Broadway, and that's another
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah, Union Station. Although they've boarded it all up.
But
They've
my
closed
point,
it all
and
up.
that's another good point to us. It's like, oh, man, I want those people say, oh my God, I don't know. It's like being
What, man? They're good. They're very good for
somebody
newbies.
that I met at the Griffith festivals. He was doing some droning, and then he said he just like saw me doing these things and was like, "Fuck it," and he just went to the train station and took some pictures, and then
Yeah.
you know what I mean, started flying his drone and taking cool shit, and then he
Right.
started doing like almost like vlog stuff with his kids, and I was like, "That's fucking awesome." You know what I mean? Like if I could get somebody else to do shit like that. Like, that's just better for everybody.
Right.
You influenced us to start.
Right.
We watched you do New Wallace. I mean, we didn't go out and do schools, but
I want to, but
the first thing we did
still don't want
Still
to.
won't let you.
it was Ming Ling's we went.
Tell
and
me,
did.
what's your ideal adventure? Tell me about your. If he didn't have any say in the matter, what would you
I'm
do?
gonna sit back and not say a word. Go.
I don't know, man, because I love the schools, but doing that Delaney projects, man, like kind of changed my whole mind on everything. Now, not only do I want to see one giant building, I want to see a block
neighborhood.
of giant buildings.
It's amazing,
and go
right?
through everything. It's just that's my dream adventure. A whole block. I mean, I hate to see that be in that city, man, but
Oh, a
we pretty
block
much
of
got
giant buildings?
Yeah,
Okay.
There's a lot of them.
You're not talking because you're 10 feet from the mic, so don't have a.
I'm not talking like Broadway. Maybe if there was like 20 palaces in a row, but I'm talking a major city. Probably find it in Detroit, huh, man?
No, it's not good.
Warehouses and stuff like that, man.
Okay.
We went to Detroit for the. We went up to Pontiac, Michigan for the Silver Dome
Right.
and flew the drone in there.
Did you really?
Yeah. And
When the one they destroyed,
Yeah.
right? Oh no.
We went
kidding,
there
man.
November of
that's
of
on
last
your
year.
thing?
Yeah.
Really?
yeah.
Had WrestleMania there.
Now, I don't want to out us or anything, but there's a clip in there where we drive in. Somebody else went there the day before and posted the video on Facebook, and I just took the clips that didn't look like didn't show their car or anything.
Why do that with your picture?
So I
all the time?
just put it. No, but it's video.
Genius.
So I took it and put it in there, and
Right.
I'm sure people are like, well, why wasn't he talking when they got in there?
Right.
That's genius.
Just
It
music.
is.
I mean, it's stupid. The guy's never gonna care. You know what I mean?
Right. He's probably happy about it.
No, he wouldn't even
Use my
notice.
footage.
Nobody watches this
Well, I
shit.
did the same thing for the YNW.
Yeah.
Look how many views that one got.
I stripped the sound out
How
of it.
many is that one up to
I
now,
checked
man?
at the end
No
of the
idea.
video. Oh, it wasn't just basically an empty parking lot. The only thing left there was like a little piece of driveway. We went in there, we walked around, we found absolutely nothing. We talked about it. We left. I went online, and some guy put a video up there like 11 years ago. It was real ratty and real windy. He only had like
He had
100
some
views
awesome
on it,
black and white
and I just happened to
photos
find.
of
Yeah, I happened to find it, and I lifted this stuff and I tacked that to the end of the video, and I made it live on.
Do we need to get you a towel?
Oh,
God, same things.
I mean, it's all right.
It's got all these nervous habits. Move 5 feet from mic, bang on table.
No, I'll be all right now.
Post a picture, put a.
So are we
stick
just
a
like
mirror
are
on
we
there.
just like admitting that we're taking stuff from other people?
I guess
Is that what this
No,
devolved
just that-
into
just-
somehow?
no,
Sorry.
just that one.
It was genuinely like I was just looking up the Silver Dome around that time, and then that came up. I'm like, holy shit, somebody got to drive in?
Right.
And then it was like just looking through their front windshield, and I'm like, what?
Since you put it like that, yeah, I guess we have.
But
what's
like
wrong
I
with
flew my drone over it,
Right.
and it was foggy as hell. And so I fly it down into it a little bit, and next thing you know, it starts losing connection. I'm like, oh shit, flew it straight back up
Right.
like as quick as possible. Like, imagine if I lost connection to the drone in there and I had to like go and, excuse me, security guard.
Can I get in there?
Can I get my drone,
I did the
please?
same thing over Lake Michigan. I
Yeah,
was
that
like,
might have
"Please don't
actually
me tell them-
worked.
Please don't have me go back and tell Joe them I lost my drone in Lake Michigan.
First week, huh?
The first time I took it out.
Oh yeah,
No, I said, it did that. And ding, ding, ding. I said, what's wrong? And this little battery's blinking. I'm like, oh my God, there's way out there.
yep. You gotta pay attention to that
Then I
shit.
just hit that bring it home button and
Yeah.
it brought it straight home, but it didn't film it because it brought it straight back when you hit that
Drop
mode.
the battery into
You got
panic
back,
mode.
it landed it. I went to go pick it up. Like, oh no. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different aspects to it, but I don't think it's something, like I said, the YNW footage that I found online, it was like somebody who didn't really have a lot of videos posted. They put it on
but-
YouTube for somebody to watch it, so I did.
And well, it's for. I think it's. I think stuff like that. I think that stuff is like for sharing purposes because it's sharing old information.
Right.
You know, and like I've used it in the alerting video.
Right,
There was
right.
like footage from the 50s and 60s in that building.
Right.
And it was
Oh.
like, oh shit, okay, I can actually just like show that room and then show it in action. Like,
Oh, wait a minute. I did that to the alerting.
Another one,
I
man?
took out some footage I found on live.
You found the alertings footage too?
Yeah.
It was in like that montage with different years and different shit in there. Yeah.
But I mean, I just wanted to pass it on.
Screaming Wheels too, ain't it? Or you just use your commercial?
That was just a commercial that was online. It was an old
He
Screaming
did it
Wheels.
once. He's already, that's 3 times already that he.
Well, why not? I mean, you know, people haven't seen it. It's just like when we crossed.
They love that Screaming Wheels old footage you put on there, though, man.
That's all I'm doing is just making it live on, you know? I mean, what's wrong with that? That's what we do. I don't really look at our stuff as urban exploring so much as like showing people what Gary looks like now.
Yeah, I'm just a documentarian. I do that with my daily life. I do the daily vlog. I just document shit. It's in my nature.
Which is so funny sometimes.
I just want to make people see the world the way I see it. I mean, that's all I can do with the camera. You know what I mean? I can point shit at it the way I look at it. And
if you guys haven't checked out Comeuppence Network, you got to. I mean, I'm not just saying because he's my friend. I'm saying because it's funny. We talk about all the time. Your daughter, little one, especially when we were just talking about it on the way up here, weren't we? When she fell on a bicycle.
Why did you film it? She asked you, and then she.
Yeah, but I mean, like
she was smiling.
My brother's daughter watches her religiously. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, she has grown up with it essentially.
Your oldest kid chugging out his lemonade he left in your van?
Right.
Oh,
yeah, I mean, just I don't know. River's grown up with it.
Yeah.
Like since she can remember. She was only like a few months old when I started vlogging.
That's so cool, man.
So like she could see almost every day of her life.
How many kids can say that?
Right.
As long as I saw her, yeah.
That's cool. You know, that really is. Yeah, I think that a lot of the stuff.
Okay, so wait, I wanted to say one thing about that article before we completely move on from it, because it was like an hour ago that we started talking about that. It pisses me off when people come into a place and then act like they know everything.
Right.
Bear with me, because it sounds like what I did. I don't know everything about Gary. But when you go into these places and you take pictures of rooms that are not gymnasiums and say they're gymnasiums, it fucking annoys me. When you don't find the original, more historic gymnasium and you instead go to the newer one, that fucking annoys me. Like, and then they're getting an article written about them? That's some bullshit.
Who wrote the article?
I don't.
New York Times or
no, it was the Chicago Tribune.
Chicago
by
Tribune.
Carol Carlson.
I think it's a Post Tribune article.
Yeah.
Chicago Tribune owns Post Tribune. But you know what? I don't like the fact he's from Cincinnati. I read in there.
Yeah, Keating, a retired Cincinnati Enquirer photographer, knew little of Gary before seeing a newspaper story about the school selling 33 of its vacant schools and properties. He's since been reading everything he could find on the city's history and felt he should make the journey to Gary before the schools disappeared. Like,
This is what pissed me off.
What?
He got into West Side and Roosevelt, bro.
Yeah, they offered me to go into West Side, and Roosevelt, I think.
They offered you?
Somebody did.
Let's do it, man.
Yeah, it was. I have to wait till school's in, I think. Oh, it is back in. Duh. This was like at the beginning of summer. We almost got. We just missed the
Roosevelt High School, man. I've always wanted to go in that school, man. I've never been in the gym or nothing, man. And that that was a school back in the day, man.
It's got to look a lot like Wallace or Horace Mann,
I would
right?
think so, man.
This is how he cons me to do these schools. He'll say that about every school we do.
What?
I've always wanted to go in that one. That's the one I want to do. All I want
because
is Emerson.
you haven't done it yet.
If we do Emerson, I'm good. I'm done.
No,
go watch the tape.
I never said we were done, man.
What do you got against the schools? Have you?
asking.
Okay, let me ask you this: how many schools have you been to that you've been like, this is fucking stupid?
None.
How many places have you taken us that it ends up being, this is fucking stupid?
The only reason
let's say
Nike
5
site,
out of
the
9.
The Nike
No,
site,
just kidding.
The Nike site was the only one, and that's because the missiles were gone.
We went to the house after that.
Yeah, that one.
What house?
The house that was completely boarded up.
That haunted one that Steve wanted to do by Walmart.
That was my brother. That was not me. Don't drop that one in my lap. Don't.
Hey, it's the Steel City Storm crew.
That's true. I'll take the heat from my brother. But I have actually been to that house before, and it was pretty cool.
I was hammered.
There was
a
a truck in there. It was a real old truck. It really made it cool. I guess Well, that's another example of what happens, though. People got in there, somebody probably vandalized it, so they boarded it all up tight, and there it goes. You know, it could have been a cool explore for us, but...
Have you explored anything outside of Gary?
Not well. I mean, Lake Station and Portage and stuff like that. I plan on doing the Enchanted Forest one.
That'd be cool.
There's some like
It's
former insane asylum thing in like Kentucky that
those things don't attract me though, because so many people
cool.
do it.
That's what you said about that hospital till we got him inside there.
Right.
He
That
ran
hospital's
out.
cool,
He ran
right?
out
The
of
only
two
thing-
films.
the only thing that sells me on those-
He blew his wad two times.
The only thing that sells me on those ones right there, as far as the Steel City Storm channel, is there's 5-10 people that's done it, but we haven't done it for our channel. And some of the people who are subscribed to our channel want to see us do it with our little twist and turn, or however we do it, bad lighting.
What I've been
Can't hear my
telling you,
microphone,
man.
and
They're like,
know.
I don't want to do the places you did. Just fucking do them. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, but there's so many other really cool ones.
Well,
I
where?
like
if there
scary-
were so many other cool ones, we would have been in them already.
You guys don't like doing randoms. You guys don't like riding up and down the street. Me and him, we don't. My brother included. Me and him will just ride up and down the back road. Go, what is wrong? And just look, and he'll, hey, turn around, turn around. That's how we find things.
I mean, we do just random drives. There was a house where like just the front and the side was standing, and I like flew the drone, and Bill and I stood on the sidewalk, and you saw us in the window.
But that's the cool stuff. And now with the drone thing too.
We're about to step it up.
Well,
bro.
now we can get a different look at the same things. I could do the same building. Example: Glen Park Hardware.
Right.
I did that. It was all right. I mean,
Yeah,
looking
but to
back
be
at
able
my-
to have that steady shot, you throw it on tripod mode,
Yeah, man.
and then boom, just push right
That's
through
what I'm
there.
talking about.
Yeah,
I
I'm
like
there.
those top
I'm
shots.
gonna hit
Like
that
those,
one
those
again.
pictures you posted
the straight
today,
down
man.
shit. I just took them real quick from the
They're
yard.
amazing.
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, man.
I was like,
actually-
damn, we don't have any color in the yard. And then I looked across the street,
Right.
and that was my brother's house across the street
Across
that I was
the-
looking straight down on.
okay.
But like, dude, those trees went red for
yeah, man.
as far as I could see. I was like, holy crap,
I
that's
see
awesome.
like 3 of those
I was
burning
actually
bushes
having a
today.
bad day, and then I seen those pictures, and it just cheered me up.
Follow
a little
Comeuppence
bit, man.
Network for cheery days on
I'm
bad
serious,
days.
man. I'm serious.
If you're not watching Comeuppence Network, you're missing out. And I'm not just plugging.
On
in.
all sorts of things.
You're missing
man.
out, man.
It's a bunch of random shit.
And that's what's good about it.
I posted the last Hysteria concert. I don't know why I'm doing just self plugs. Never mind. And just check
go
out.
with it, man.
Go to DONTEVA.com. DONTEVA.com.
you have a good thing going. You should promote it. It's my. That's.
It
I'll
just
always
it
promote
feels
it.
ucky. I see people do it, and
Get over
it
it.
makes me
Get over it.
It makes me not like them. Like I see
like Storm.
no. I see people do it every day. Like every day, they're blatantly in a terrible hacky way promoting their shit. And I fucking hate it. And
They
I
look like they're
refuse to be
searching
that
and,
person.
and reaching.
I played
you don't.
Clash of Clans, and there's this one guy.
I don't on purpose though. That's
he gets
by
invited
design.
to Poland to do where they're based and everything. He gets to do everything. American douchebag, man. But he gets all the new stuff. But that's all he does. Oh, follow my YouTube and this and that. Man, he's out of the country
like
so
that.
much he's
I
got
don't
an
like that.
accent now.
I don't like that.
You played that game?
What?
Clash of Clans?
I don't-
You've ever played it before?
No.
Amazing, man.
I'm not much of a gamer.
Neither am I. I
It's
used to be.
As he wears a
Stupid, but I don't have
PlayStation,
time.
as he wears a
Like-
PlayStation shirt, I'm not much of a gamer either.
I used to be, man. This PlayStation used to be my shit, bro. We had kids, they took over the console, then I retired. man.
Nintendo 64, man. WrestleMania,
Oh, I had
John
them all,
Madden,
man.
football. That's all it's about.
Madden.
I basically.
Tecmo Bowl.
So
I
these
go back
people-
to Tecmo Bowl.
Oh, I love Tecmo Super Bowl. That was the shit.
man. We used to play $1 a game, man, and hours and hours.
That's all we used to do, sit around.
So these
Smoke.
people are just going around taking pictures of gyms.
Of gymnasiums in Indiana.
So we've gone 30,000 miles and visited over 300 gyms of all sizes and shapes. Blah blah blah.
Sounds fun.
Like it's weird seeing these pictures because it's like I know exactly where
Yeah,
that room is.
right,
I remember
yeah.
that room.
How does he get in all those?
What?
He's got Earl
They were
Smith,
they
man.
got a like an escort
Yeah.
into the building. So
Did
they're
you
not
see
even
how
doing
they,
it.
You see how they got into Horseman?
Oh.
the same way we did.
The back door?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it says it right
Yeah.
there.
So
too,
therefore,
man.
Chicago Tribune endorses what we do.
No, they're telling how to get in. We don't even do that.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying?
So
they
they
had
are
somebody with
endorsing.
them though. Still, even though they
Yeah.
did just walk in the same way,
Yeah.
the front door's open on Horace
So
Mann.
they are endorsing what we do.
Right.
I guess
They're doing the same thing we're doing.
I don't need anybody to fucking endorse what we do. I'm going to do
Hey,
it
could
anyway.
you guys,
Fuck those people.
could you guys get a hold of somebody to give me Emerson's keys?
The-
You
the-
don't need them. Just
I
go through
find
the
this
back.
very sad.
The newspaper's not going to get us any more anything.
I don't care about
You
the
know what I mean?
newspaper.
Like it
I don't
doesn't.
care about them.
Right.
Keating heard stories about Gary's once stately high schools now ravaged by neglect and vandals, but the real images are startling.
I told you what the rundown is. They take all the good stuff
I
that's
haven't
worth
done that
money.
picture.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
Definitely
same
done
thing,
the
man.
silhouette picture against that sky.
Look at this. Is it? Gary's escorted by a Gary School maintenance employee, bro.
The ones who have the Michael Jackson plaque.
Yeah, they slipped through a rear door at Horace Mann into darkness, illuminated only by flashlights.
And
Where
you're
have I
right.
heard
They
that
went
before?
The
into
big gym
yeah.
just south of the school's track facing Fifth Avenue stood full of debris with just a hint of its former majesty. They saw discarded computer monitors, spray cans, broken
They
fans,
didn't
trophies.
mention nothing about the condoms, though, huh, man?
No,
he,
they didn't
He
mention-
really wasn't in
pick
there,
me, pick
man.
me.
What?
So they're talking about how to get into schools on a newspaper now, online. You just read to me how to get inside that school, correct?
Yeah, they were escorted in
By a
by a Gary School
By a
maintenance
school
employee.
employee through the open window in the back.
No, that's for later in the
He
day.
didn't even
man.
have the keys to the building. Hey, I'm just going to show you how to get in, right?
I mean, I understand where they're coming from.
This is the only thing I agree with.
We believe
man.
our pictures are part of a document of places that will continue to vanish over time.
And that is exactly
I
what
can't
we do.
disagree
It
with
annoys me when people say stuff that, like I've said, and I get that everybody's had those same thoughts.
Why are
but
we
like,
doing
it's
these buildings?
super petty.
Before they go. On that interview we did, you just said, you go, well, Gary was at this point 50 years ago. Now it's at this point. And then it's going to turn around and we're documenting what's going on. And now, like I said earlier, people are getting involved, like the newspapers. It's only going to be a matter of time
Yeah,
for...
but none of this has anything to do with us. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying, too. Like, it's just happening because it's there. And, like, people see shit like we saw it. I didn't really know about it until we did it, honestly, because Tony we went to that house, the Castle House, and it was like, oh, this is cool. Like, is there more stuff like this? What else can we go check out? And then it was like, oh, fuck, this stuff exists. I didn't even know urban exploration really was a thing.
I think our passion shows because we get up on Sunday mornings when everybody else is kind of chilled out and sleeping and got to go to work Monday morning, and we're out there doing it. That shows that we love doing what we do.
Plus, it's the only day we really can do it.
Well,
What does that number? What does that say on there, time-wise?
40.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
but yeah, I just think that what we're doing is going to turn into I don't know. It's going to turn...
Well, I don't know what we can necessarily offer in audio form. You said you fell asleep to it a couple nights in a row. Like
But this way I can listen to it and then I
right.
start off.
But
you
it's also, that's sort of why we wanted to do this, to give a different form,
Right.
a different medium for people to, because you couldn't lay and watch the same thing. You know what I mean?
Right,
like to
right.
listen to it is different. You can close
Right.
your eyes and relax,
Right,
or be
right,
driving
right.
and listen to it. You don't have to watch, but you can if you want.
On the way over here, I had a thought, if you don't
Oh
mind.
God, here we go.
I love when he does that.
If he mentions Broadway.
No, hear me out. What would be, if you could have one place that you can just go explore, no matter where it is? We're talking Graceland, the White House, City Hall, anywhere in the world you want to go.
It's super
And
easy, though.
explore one place, where would it be?
It's
So I have my answer
Go
now.
on,
What's
it's
it?
yours easy
It's
because
a
I still
super
can't
easy
think.
question.
What is it?
Chernobyl.
Ooh, that's a good one.
We have to
I got
put out
two
really
deep
is
oohs out of
good.
that.
that's deep, man. You're talking nuclear fallout.
Those were
thought
like
that,
That's nuclear fallout, man.
that makes me think even more now, though, you know?
I mean, come on, that's the
I
shit.
have two of them, man. It's really hard, but I have to take one over the other.
Ooh, I'm going to tell
Where's your gene? Okay, you just rubbed.
Hiroshima or the other place, man, they got...
Yeah, but
You,
they've
you
rebuilt
just rubbed
that
off a
shit.
genie, okay?
I know,
mean,
but
wait,
they
you
got,
just,
I just want to see the people, bro. They're still messed up, man.
I just want to see them people.
Okay, anyway, let's say that.
Man, they are
Let's say that
destroyed, bro.
you're on the beach. You're on Lake
I
Michigan.
just recently watched a documentary about them,
But
man.
you've seen the people. You don't need to what are you going to say to them? I mean, if you see them.
Don't
Ouch.
mess with Texas. I don't know, man. It's,
Don't do that.
The social wreck speaks.
Unbelievable.
Here he goes.
Okay, I was just playing. Man.
He wants to see
Carry
squirrels.
on. What's your places? You have
He
two
wants to see
places?
squirrels with 5 nuts. I can't believe this, man.
I don't know. I guess Alcatraz would be pretty cool too, just from the history of it.
Is
man.
that abandoned at this point?
I
tourist-
think there is a tourist thing.
It's a tourist
man.
attraction.
I mean, but to go, there's spots you can't get in on those places, man.
Right.
Alright,
To
so-
get like an all access
Yeah.
tour.
You're going with
man.
that.
I really want to go in Joliet prison. I think
That'll
that'd
be
be fun as
cool,
hell.
man.
That's you guys'
Because of
ultimate.
Prison Break.
I mean, he said sure no.
Anywhere-
Well, how do you top that?
Yeah,
man?
All right, let me try. Let me try
Try.
something. That's his answer though. What is yours? Okay, let's see. You're on
Trying to
Lake
think if
Michigan,
there's
just
anywhere
watching the
else.
sunset, and a genie bottle rolls up on the sand.
Area
And you-
51 would be pretty
But
cool.
now, are we talking about
And
abandoned
you have a
stuff?
genie wish.
Right.
You have a genie wish, and it's an explorer. You can go any place right now that you want, no matter where it is. I'll put you there right now, and you can have the whole place to look at, unbothered. Where would you go?
Again, only
Bathroom-
abandoned
the
stuff?
bathroom in
Anywhere you
Graceland
want. I don't
and
care.
shit,
No, it
bro.
don't have to be abandoned.
The bathroom at
Well,
Graceland.
I don't know what the point of exploring stuff that's not abandoned is.
Okay, I'll give you one. Area 51.
I just said that one.
That's what I'm saying, though. Area 51. You can't get in there.
Unlimited though.
Unlimited access.
That'll be cool, man.
Not the
Then
guy
they'd
named
have
it.
to kill
you know,
us,
You know
though,
where I
man.
want to go to?
The Playboy
Here we go.
Mansion.
Nope.
That'll be a cool one.
Neverland Ranch.
See, that's a good.
Leave me
one, man.
alone. Let me just go through all Neverland Ranch, the whole property, and just check the whole thing out, man.
I think they've been redoing it recently.
Yeah.
They're
See,
trying
I
to,
still wanna
somebody's
go see
trying to
it.
resell it.
They're trying to.
It's
sell.
just something about that
They
place,
changed
man.
the
It makes you
name,
want to do
too.
it.
I bet a drone over that place would be amazing.
No,
too,
I want to walk
man.
it and check it all out. Go room to room.
Wow, I don't know. I'm kind of stuck, man. There's so many, man. But
I know there's other shit besides Chernobyl that I want to see.
Oh, what's the Pikachu? The mountains up there. What are they?
Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Machu Picchu?
Thank you. That's it. Machu Picchu.
Is that the thing where like all the houses are in the side of the hill and they're covered in moss? That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Some old castles, like
Scotland,
yeah,
kinda
like
dope.
something like that would be
Dope
sweet.
castle.
So now I got them warming up here.
I think I would like to. Here's the thing: I would like to see the Colosseum and stuff, but I'd like to be there alone.
You can have it alone.
Like that's the thing. Like I don't like the touristy bullshit where there's like
Right.
50,
yeah.
60 people
My
in there, and
cousin-
it's like
That's
get
what I'm
out of my
talking about.
picture.
My cousin just came back from there recently, and she took some amazing pictures of out there, man. They're great. I was gonna take a few of those, put them on my my
The
page,
pyramids
man.
are another good one. I'd love to be around, just be left alone to go through the chambers of the
There
pyramids.
you go, man. That'll be that. That's I would say, that'll be it right there.
I think
the
about these things at
pyramids,
night.
man.
Where if I can have the money to afford to just pick up and go and pay off somebody to let me go in a place for an hour, I think of these. This is how my mind works. And a lot of these places in Gary that we do, there's one point in time. I mean, we just did a building and we didn't know what it was. The social club one.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Sin City Disciples old clubhouse.
At the end, it
Right.
was, man.
Who'd have
With
known?
that sign, remember that sign there? Now somebody's gonna be, they're gonna be unappreciative of
I
that
hope not.
video, man.
It's not disrespectful. We just
No.
the whole front of the wall was missing. We walked through it. Then somebody's like, "That was the old Sin City Disciple building." Great.
Right. I think you'll be okay.
That was the only one locked up and stuff
Yeah.
too. Yeah, and I didn't see anything else on there.
No,
that
not
we
really.
didn't mention.
But you know what? Speaking of that, so I can get this off my chest too, because I won't feel like I can rest. So it said, the Sin City Disciples, growing up, I remember them always being there and always being around. And I remember those guys always being really cool guys and doing stuff for the kids. I
Yeah.
remember that about them. So I want to throw that out there. And thank you from one of
You,
those
you
kids.
said a phrase that made me think of something. You said, "This is how your mind works." My mind, when you said fantasy explorer, I'm immediately like, "Oh, well, I would want to be like left alone on the Lost Island." And it's
See,
like,
that's-
God damn it, that's
that
not
is-
real.
It's not real, is it?
I mean, it is Hawaii.
Well, if that's a
It's
kid.
Hawaii.
We've been to Hawaii.
Okay,
Dude.
I'll
It's
go with
awesome.
Hawaii. Yeah, you dropped me off in Hawaii.
We went
for a
there
while.
in 2010, and it was badass.
I've never been outside the United States.
No?
It's the United States.
I've known some people that haven't
You mean the
been out.
continental United States?
Yeah.
I haven't.
I've been to 52 states.
I've known
52.
people that haven't been out of Indiana, man. Been here a long time. I'm like, you're crazy.
I'd be
What's
glad
the
enough just
furthest
to
you've
roast
traveled?
Me? Probably.
Panama.
What's the furthest you've been from here?
I don't know which one's farther. Over the Atlantic would be farther than Panama, I believe, man.
Well, trying to find this house is pretty far, man. Remember we had to
Hamburg,
go-
Germany, man.
Really?
Yeah.
What the
What?
fuck were you doing in Germany?
My brother was stationed in the Air Force,
Okay.
and I went to visit and ended up staying as long as I possibly could.
Yeah.
man.
How long were you there?
Like 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
Shit. Was he like, would you fucking leave?
No, man, it was actually awesome because I got a look. Yeah, he can't take no more than
He said,
4 or
no, it was
5
awesome. Yeah, he did say that, though.
He can't take no more than 4 or 5 days.
Yeah,
from me,
no.
man.
Yeah. He definitely said
I
that.
got to give him at least a couple months advance of when
You know
I'm
he's probably
coming.
going to hear this podcast eventually.
Yeah,
in
I
one day
got
in
to
his
play it.
life.
I got to play it for him when I go out there because I'm actually going on Thanksgiving, going out there for Thanksgiving weekend. But it would be cool. There's a abandoned Indian reservation out there, man.
Okay.
And I took footage last time, but it was so windy and I don't know. I think too many beverages in me, and the video was horrible. So I never did anything with it. This time I'm gonna take the GoPro with me and record it. You'll probably like that. It's disgusting, but it's pretty weird because it's in the middle of the desert, man.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Like big sprawling stuff is more interesting, you know. Like you said, that neighborhood. That when I went, I edited the second part of Delaney before I did the first part because I forgot I hadn't done the first part, and I just edited the one that we did.
Right.
And I'm like, fuck, I should probably put out part 1. You know, I just posted part 2 with no part 1 out there. Stupid.
That was funny.
So I edited part 1. And I was like, that was like one of my favorite ones I've ever done.
Yeah, it really
Like,
was.
I loved the way the edit turned out. And if I had edited that shit at the time, I would not have edited it the way I did.
We should go back out there this winter.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of... Well, no, but that shit's going to be torn down by then.
I don't think so. I think it'll be next summer.
I am aware of the teardown schedule.
When is that supposed to be?
I would say within 90 days.
We maybe should go out there next weekend or something again. I want to go there again. I'd really do. That was fascinating to me.
I don't know what else we could cover other than to get more, like, if we
Walk
went
the whole
more down
street.
the street. Yeah, if we need to
think we should
cover
walk the
all
whole
that.
That
place.
school, man.
We didn't even...
Did
River,
you?
I'm doing a podcast. Please stop.
That's River, by the way.
So we didn't walk to the even to the basketball courts, any of that shit. We barely touched that place.
I say we go back and do it again. That was really,
And
really
that
cool.
school across the street, like you said, he was.
That
gonna
place
do,
is
you know.
gross.
And that school
That
across
school,
the street.
right?
We've done it.
How's
It's
the
gross.
gym?
I haven't
Hey, let's go
posted
take
that.
a picture of the gym. This is how I always tell them every time. Like
See, he just admitted it. He just admitted
the
it.
gym, the auditorium, and what's the other one I always say? The office.
Man, we're just gonna hit the office, the gym, and the auditorium. The gym is the auditorium. I
They're
don't want
always
to do
on
it.
the opposite side of
Right.
the building, you know.
Then he'll take off. Then we'll get in there. He'll take off on me. It'll take me 20 minutes to find him
I've
again.
been getting better on that, man.
No, not,
If he says so, I just kind of accept that's how he is now. It don't bother me no more like it used to, unless he's got the light.
right.
Unless he's got the light, and I was like, "Hey man, can you come back with the light? I'm trying to film here." You've seen it a million times.
Man, when we
But
first
you know what?
started, man, we would have one little flashlight between us, man.
Right. I mean, lighting is key in this shit.
Yeah.
You know, if people want to know how to do urban exploring, I mean, that's fucking the first key. Is
Every time I try to get a little bit of money together, get a-
amazing light source.
Every time I try to get a little money together, get like new equipment, new lights, new camera, whatever, I think I've dropped $700 in my van like in 3 months.
Hey, man, we went into
like-
Ming Ling, and if that light would have went out, man, how would we got out of that place, man? It's pitch black in that place, man, and it's 3 levels, you know, and there is, I ain't gonna say it, you know, but there was all sorts of stuff in there. If somebody wanted to you know.
Maybe we should go revisit it again and do it and explore it again. Take these guys with us
the
this
voice
time.
wasn't, it's really a fascinating building. There's even a thing in the basement. It's like a dirt, man. Like you can see a hole been dug in the ground in the basement, and there's like these two meat jackets covered with blood. There's a shovel,
meat jackets.
Yeah, dude, it's ain't it insane?
It sounds
man.
super dirty. I don't know why.
Meat jacket.
That's what I call my condom.
Butcher
man, you took my
jacket.
joke, man. You got me. Good joke.
No, that was my
butcher
joke.
coats,
You didn't
man.
spit it out quick enough, or it would have been your joke.
A meat jacket.
Meat jacket.
I guess so. All right, let's edit.
Hey
that,
baby,
man.
you got a meat.
You don't edit.
Hey
on
baby,
blog,
did you put on
dude.
your meat
That's
jacket?
golden, man. You just hit one there. Let's see how many people's gonna laugh about meat
Technically,
jacket.
I said it first.
You
right?
did.
Right.
All right.
I
But you
connected
could
the
click-
dots.
you
Yeah.
did.
I connected the dots and made it way funnier.
A meat jacket. But no, Mingling is a restaurant that we actually, both of us, been in back once upon a
Love
time.
that place. You say, hey, out there all the time. That's why I
hammered.
did it, man. To be honest with you, I went in there to find that glass. I used to have these drinks, zombies. I'm sure you heard of that. Have you ever
I've heard of
a zombie?
I've heard of zombies. Yeah,
Well,
we do
this-
a podcast called How to Watch TV with Joel and Jeremy, The Walking Dead. Go
And
ahead,
you
sir.
had zombies?
Yeah, we talk about zombies.
He made great ones here. Friend of mine, he passed away, but he told me he's gonna go do Mingling. He's going inside. I was like, well, I'm going.
I was
with
going solo.
This is my. I was like, I'm going with you. I'm gonna find me a zombie glass, because there was only like by the end of the run, man, there was like 5 of them maybe, and I was
okay.
determined to find one. Never found one, man. We went up and down that
Found
building.
everything else
He ended
there.
up buying me him and Diane found a plastic one and gave it to me. Like that was cool, man.
Have you guys ever missed an Explorer? Like one that you wanted to do, but then you just missed your opportunity? Like they tore it down?
Friendship building.
Oh yeah, man. We could get in that one. That we missed. I would have loved to seen Tolliston. I would have loved to seen. I could have got in that school so many times. I used to hang out down the street from there, so I could have got in there.
You got the home run on that one. You got Star Plaza.
Yeah,
I'd
that
love
was
to
a
be in
good-
that one.
But I didn't miss that one. Yeah.
No, I'm saying you're the only one that's got it.
In the way that we, in the way I
yeah.
did it, yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I would for this area. I would have to say Tolliston, man. I would have loved to seen that because that was one of the first ones, wasn't it?
Frable was the first one that was torn down.
That one's gone too, right?
Yeah. But that one sat abandoned for 30 years.
Right. That would have been awesome. You ever went in that one?
No.
No?
It was gone way before I started doing this.
I like
that
seeing
was the
Shannon
first one
Forest when
torn
they
down.
closed it.
See,
down.
so they haven't been in all the Gary schools, man.
Right. We've stood inside of where it was.
You've been there then.
Right.
But you guys have covered all the other ones, right? You got every single Gary school now, don't you?
Every closed Gary school, yeah.
Right.
Now, where else can anybody go on one channel, one network?
Well, they can't see them all yet because
But
I
you have 'em all.
haven't edited them yet.
Right.
But I will eventually.
Make 'em-
I've decided I'm going to edit one extra Lost to Time a week.
I hope you
There
do,
you go.
man. I hope you do. I
from
think
the
you have
past
great.
shit.
I think you have good stuff going, man. I don't really get into the Walking Dead thing, but I know
No,
there's a lot of people. Who
that's-
do. My brother does.
We do it. We do it for another channel. We
That's
do
cool.
it.
tried.
No,
I
that's
can
cool.
do
We
I'm
do a
just saying.
TV podcast called How to Watch TV. We were trying to be
Right.
smart asses with the title, and we're
Right.
coming up with someone who's like, How to Watch TV. Boom, that's us.
And that's cool, man. I mean, I understand. I'm just saying, I personally don't watch that.
Yeah, so there's no reason
But-
for you to watch that podcast.
I would. I'm not really into watching vloggers or anything, but people who can mix it with the right ingredients. I'm trying to get there where I do a scary explore, but yet inject my personality and my perspective into it
Right?
and make it interesting. Because I have a lot of people that I think that are really, really good people out there, and I'm starting to get a little bit attached to some of my subscribers. It's like especially some of the older ladies and so older gentlemen who are going, "Hey, I went to that school. That breaks my heart. You made me scared when you did that," and it's over and over again. Those are the people that I keep in my head when I'm doing these explores. And I want to make content good for them.
See, but you don't even want to go in those schools for them, though, huh?
We've been in a lot of the schools that people
How
subscribers.
many schools have you been in?
14.
You've been in 14 of the schools?
Yeah.
Yeah, 14.
I'm impressed you had. I'm impressed you had the count already.
Yeah,
That you were that ready with the number was what impressed me.
He loves that stuff. Like, you know, he loves it. I like doing little back street.
Well, then, so
Off
what do
the
you
beat
guys
place.
got? What do you guys got coming up? What do you want to do? What's stuff that's
I'm glad
actually
you
going to
asked
happen?
that. Social,
Yeah, go on.
rec. I like this podcast. Dedication to be about you. Tell him what my idea is
That's
and
you,
what our
man.
idea is. The dude, no, I want to hear you tell him.
Well, we're gonna start on one end of Broadway, man, and just go up and try to get every abandoned one that, you know, reasonable. We're not talking about every little one, but if it's abandoned, we're gonna
Accessible.
we're gonna document.
Start at
it,
one side of
man.
Broadway, downtown, and go all the way up to Glen Park.
I sort of see that video that series of videos like I'm eventually going to do with the schools.
Right.
I want to put something together. My mom suggested it one time, and I'm saying this so somebody could steal it, but don't.
Nobody's
Don't be
gonna
a
steal it.
fucking
You got
dick.
the footage. Let me burn that
No,
steal
I
it
mean
from
the
you.
idea.
Oh.
She said get an
Sorry.
overhead view of the city, and then as you're talking about each school as it's closing down, like X out where that school is. You know what I mean? And like show it like that. Like I picture the same kind of thing with Broadway.
That's
if you had a map of Broadway and you were just starting here and started scrolling up and you were like boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean?
That's a great
dope,
idea.
man.
That's the extra shit that you gotta
Storm's
do there.
definitely gonna steal that idea, man.
No, I want you guys need to be with us
That
on
is
some
great.
of these explorers, man. I mean, just like the one that we just did, the Gordon and Sons. You guys been there, done that, but
Place was
you see it different than I see it, than my brother sees it, than he sees it. When we're all together, I think it gives us a bigger, broader perspective of how to look at it. You know, like he's into finding little hidden things. You're into that shot. My brother's into the haunted, ghostly factor. I'm into the detail factor. Big Tone, you know, he's all about. He's very sharp on that stuff, man. And when you put us all together, it's different than me or you going or him going. And I think we should all do these videos together. A lot of them, not all of them, but because me and him's gonna go on a Wednesday evening or a Thursday. Well, some of the bigger ones, you wouldn't want to go.
None with you. No more. We're
Yeah,
done.
right.
That's why we're podcasting. I'm weaning you off my channel.
You know,
Yeah.
I like the fact that, you know, there's stuff out there that we don't even know about yet, you know,
That's
man.
right.
Yeah, I'm not limiting it to just Gary. Like that's
Right.
just where
Well,
stuff is.
I've been talking to him that you ever been to, there's like a bandit college in St. Joseph. You ever heard of it or been there?
I think I've heard of that.
I am. What?
What is the interest? I just don't.
It's an abandoned college. I heard the library.
Right, I heard the words abandoned
No,
college, and it was like, you know what
that
that sounds
amazes
like?
me, man.
That sounds like one step above abandoned high school. What the fuck is wrong with you, Paul?
Right, man. And you know, could you imagine most of those colleges,
campus.
the grounds? Yeah,
Yeah, like the
exactly,
football
man.
area,
You know,
the-
they say that a lot about Gary schools, that the older ones, they were built and the outside looked more like college atmosphere than, you know, than a high school, you know.
They're built with love and pride. They thought they'd last forever.
Look at most of these schools now built. They're on the corner with no grounds, you know, a football field and
They
this
build the
and that.
schools like they do the Walmarts. Man.
Right,
They just kind of
man.
slap them up and beam it up. And
Yeah.
there it is.
Fake red brick on the outside.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's all about cutting costs. Back in those days, man, they just wanted to make.
Now it's
They
all
were
about
building a
charter
city around
schools.
these. Well, they were building a city around. There's these certain places. Look at the bank. Look at the train station. Up and down Broadway, the massive scale of what they did. Look at city.
reminds
Even City Hall is cool.
I'm
I
sorry,
would love to
man.
get in Gary City Hall and look through every room in there.
Yeah,
would
that'd
interest
be
me.
cool. Hey, that reminds me. Getting back to the question. Yeah, Broadway. He said Broadway. That reminded me of it. But yeah, that's what we're gonna start doing. That. Not that we're not gonna do anything else, but we figure, man, between me and him, we could, like I said, after work day here.
We work together, and it's easy for us to just go from after, hey, you want to go? And go shoot out for maybe an hour, hour and a half, opposed to rounding everybody up and going out and doing it.
Sometimes
like,
we
you know.
get lucky, man. We could pop about 5 of those in an hour, you know, man.
Yeah.
And then some days we have where,
And it seems like those are the ones that do the best, you know, the little, the
Hey,
6-minute videos.
He's out there yelling at a pile of garbage. I'm frustrated. I'm like, let's go do a school or something, you know. And Next thing you know, he puts that video on. It does amazing, and I'm like,
Well,
what?
people have no attention span.
Is that what it is?
It's look. Here's the thing. You can either
That's a backhanded insult.
you can either
A
try
compliment.
to appeal to the shit that gets you good
Right.
amounts of views, or you
Right.
could just try to make the coolest,
Okay.
best shit you want to see.
Right.
Now, that's
like-
wrong. You're wrong.
Why?
Because, I'll tell you why.
I'm interested.
Because let's say that somebody who wants to see a school, okay? Everyone who grew up in Gary didn't go to the same schools. Gary has 29 schools. Obviously, they're
you know, it
splattered
sounds
all
like
over.
he's saying that you should go to all the schools. but
No,
that's just
no,
what
hear
I'm
me out.
hearing.
Hear me
Go
out.
ahead.
All these schools, people don't remember. Like, let's say me. I don't remember Roosevelt because I didn't go to Roosevelt. I don't remember West Side. I don't remember Emerson.
Hey,
I don't remember.
But going to
Hold on.
Lew Wallace, you don't know nothing about these
Yes,
other
but
schools?
Hear me out. But buildings up and down Broadway, everybody's going to know.
Not really. How many of those buildings we been in? We're
Are you
like,
telling me
what the
that-
heck is this? You know,
If you lived
man?
in Glen Park, you went
yeah.
to.
yeah,
you went to one
I
of the
know what you're
schools.
saying. I know what you're saying, man.
Everybody's going to remember the Goldblatts. Everybody's going to remember the Harveys.
Where
If you lived
was
in
the
Glen, if you lived in
Goldblatts,
Gary, you're
man?
going to remember these places.
Where was it going?
You're not necessarily going to remember a school if you lived in Gary. That's my whole way of looking at it.
I
mean-
think so. With the rivalry the schools had with the other schools, that they remember.
I
it, man.
never said it was off the charts. I'm just
Look
saying
at
it's
when we
not as
did the
good.
Dunbar Pulaski, quite a few people was like, oh, look at even Ralph fan. He was like, oh, I dated a lot of girls from that school. And this other guy, I didn't go to that school, but my best friend went to that school. The other person, like, oh, my best friend went to that school. You know, that's what I'm saying, man.
But the videos that do better, as far as content and not being a school, is ones that just people is remember, just like the one we just did, the Gordon and Sons. It's doing pretty good. The Jackson 5 house, it's a dumb one, but Peerless Potato Chips.
Now look at
Lucky's
your
Lucky's
Jack
Lounge.
Demon
Lucky's
house
Lounge.
got like about 50,000 views and
Yeah.
shit, man. I'm like, what the heck?
But one of my
man?
least favorite videos I've done. It really is.
Well, but that's more what I was saying. I'm not shitting on doing those not school areas.
Right.
I just mean, I just want to make the best shit that I just want to make stuff that I want to watch.
Right.
Rather than chasing that, because you can get lost in that real quick. You can
I
be
agree.
like just wanting to people please.
Well, you've been doing a lot
And
longer
you know
than we
what?
have
Fuck
too.
people.
You've been doing a lot
You
longer
tell
than we
people
have.
what's worth seeing.
Right.
You decide what they watch, and don't let them dictate it to you.
I
If
don't
there's
know.
a good suggestion, by all means. I'm not saying don't listen
But
to
I
anybody's
actually say
opinion,
that on
but
videos. Hey, suggest us.
exactly.
So that's different, you know. I
that
guess.
is different. But
You got any
But
suggestions?
He answers
But
it
don't-
like
but
you
don't go
answer,
like-
can I come hang out with you? Can I say
exactly nothing.
Yeah.
I'm just playing, man.
But,
It's
like, if
really
you-
not like
It's
that.
not
man.
worth just like say 5-minute or less videos are getting way more plays. I don't think that means you should stick to 5-minute or less videos.
I say throw some clickbait.
That's all
on
I'm
the
saying.
title,
You know what I mean?
man.
Like
I
it would
agree.
do the shit that as it needs to be done.
I-
And if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't.
I think I have stuck to that formula a little
Yeah.
bit. There's ones that are half hour. There's ones that are 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes,
Right.
5 minutes, 8 minutes. I think I'm sticking to that kind
Right.
of.
Just kind
That's
of-
why I don't mind doing we did the Mercy Hospital. We just did that. It's not even edited yet.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it goes on and on.
It's a big
And
building.
on and on.
6
and on and on.
floors or whatever,
Huge,
5,
man.
6
I'm
floors.
over here complaining about 11 clips, and I'm FaceTime Joe, and I see his laptop, and he's got 500 and something clips. I'm going to bed, man. I cannot.
That was for a
I have
wedding.
No
That was
idea.
And we
brutal.
got like halfway through that building.
The episode
I
I'm
was
editing
sore.
right now.
That's brutal, man.
The Lost to Time that I'm editing right now, the one where we went to the cement factory thing. I'm editing that finally.
Well, yours is much. Your videos are
When
way
you
more
ran
touched than
inside
mine. I basically just cut a few parts here and there, cut out the cussing, throw it online, put a little ending.
Cut out
You
the cussing.
actually
I add more cussing.
you actually
I
put
voice
music,
over
though.
cussing. I'm like, quit being a pussy in that line. Say something.
Your videos are way more artistic than mine, and they always will be.
I love the one
Oh,
when
shit,
you and
it's so
Tony were
off.
on that stage at Pulaski, man. That was awesome, man.
Oh, the debate thing?
Yeah, when you were asking the
Stupid
questions,
shit.
I would love to do
But
something
that's
like that.
that's the good
awesome,
stuff, man.
That's just knowing,
gotta-
like, blocking. Like, how do we make this so... Because I would just do it in order.
Right.
Like, okay, here's the next question.
Right.
Okay, you go over there. Where were you at? You got to remember where you were, like for continuity. Shit like that
Right.
bugs me if like people aren't paying attention to continuity.
You're way more
Because you
artistic.
can make it look like it's happening simultaneously.
Right.
Like it's really just the next thing that happened.
I like to
Cool,
squat
man.
one I like to squat one at Lou Wallace. That one's pretty funny. It's real short, pop. He looks up, you
I
look
mean,
up,
took
you look
an
up,
hour
you
and a
look
half.
up, boom, it's over and done. It's you see that one where they do the squat, how to squat? He's talking about so he goes
The squat
"It's always-
contest.
What's
It's always a good
was
time
it?
for a squat.
Oh, yeah,
And they
yeah.
go back and
Oh,
forth.
yeah.
I love stuff like that, man. You know, I think that's kind of things like
Yeah, the beer
like
run
a trailer
video,
for a
shit
movie.
like that. Is
What do you
the
show a
stuff I
trailer
like
for a
doing.
movie for? So people will go watch the movie. Hey, that looks interesting. I want to go watch that. And I think it's the same thing as videos. It's like
yeah.
coming soon.
As long as you don't blow your whole wide on
Or
the
like
preview.
leave your phone on during a
Yeah,
podcast.
even
Sorry
I
about
look at even
I am letting it ring
turned off.
again.
Sorry, it was Mom. Sorry, Mom. I know you hear this. I had to
I
silence
forgot
you.
what we were saying just then. What were you just talking about? Did we all just forget because of that fucking...
Yeah, my mom threw me off on that one.
Okay, well, that's the end of the podcast.
No, not so soon.
Where we got there on time?
108.
108. Okay, yeah, I guess
We're
we
about
are
wrap
about
it
done.
up.
Can I do a little thank you? Look, do the face, man. Watch what I ask. What? Hey, you mind if I give a couple shout outs out there?
Yeah, go ahead.
I like to thank the subscribers.
Shout out time with Paul. Usual segment.
The
Music.
You gotta stand up.
I would like
turn
to.
around.
I would like to thank all the subscribers out there. There's so many of you that really care, and I don't want to start naming names because if I leave somebody out, then I'm gonna feel bad about it. But you know who you are out there. I always try to answer. I'll make sure I always do that, and you know, I hope that you are enjoying what we're doing. I want to get better and better at it. I never claim to be even good at it. I'm a rookie. I will get better. We got the drone now. Much more adventures coming, and make sure you watch for these buildings we're going to be doing up and down Broadway. That's our new thing. That's my new jam. It makes me want to get up and go out and do some exploring. When I think about going up and down Broadway and getting into these raggedy, falling apart buildings, that's my new jam. I mean, I don't want to just go out and do randoms. I want to do Broadway now because I know a lot of you people out there want to see it. And if you have suggestions, I will always listen. I can't promise I'm going to get to them, but we're definitely listening. And we appreciate your support for the channel and hope that you pass it on and share it and all that good stuff. And this is the Storm speaking. I'm not speaking for anyone else, but I want to say thank you and God bless you all out there. I really enjoy you guys being subscribers to the channel on behalf of the Steel City Storm crew.
I thought you said it was from you.
Right.
Now it's from the
Now he's
crew,
speaking
man.
for everybody.
I don't want to be associated with that comment.
Hold on.
Scratch.
Let me throw my plug in there.
That's right.
I'm also going to be doing stuff. DONTEVA.com. See, it can be succinct.
All right.
What does that word mean? You know, what about Social Rec? He's supposed to be a special guest star here today.
Get on.
Do you have anything to plug?
Nah.
Except for the term that we have now,
What's that one?
Social Rec has come up, and nobody better not take it from you.
What, my meat jacket, man?
You got the word meat jacket.
man. Hey,
It's
but-
the new word for a condom. It's called a meat jacket. That's awesome, man. That's great. That's
That's
meat
more
Put on your
him,
meat
man.
jackets. We'll be back next week or something.
Hey,
See
come
you
on.
later.
All these memories in my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind. I'm still a secret lemonade dream.